Hey, kid, we're gonna say some stuff, and your parents will be real upset with us if they hear you repeating it, so scram. Get out. All right, on with the program.
Yo, Sketch here. I am here mainly to remind you that for this arc's wrap-up, we will be doing a Q&A. And we have, frankly, not received a lot of questions. So if you're hesitating because you're like, everybody else is going to ask, just, they're not. Just ask. And if we don't get enough questions, then we just don't do the Q&A. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. But in 2 weeks, we will probably be recording that. So if you have a question, don't hesitate. Ask now. And you can do so either by emailing us at avoidpodofficial@gmail.com or in our YouTube comments, on our Blue Sky, in our Discord, which, may I remind you, you will have free access to if you join our Patreon as a free member. Ah, shit. I saw you just fucked up your eyeliner. Now the wing is way too big on one side. And you're going to have to match that. And then it'll probably end up getting even bigger. And you have to keep balancing them until you look like Amy Winehouse. And it's not like you don't like Amy Winehouse. She just has a very strong look and a very strong voice. But you're not sure you can pull it off. And frankly, you're not ready for the stage yet. You'd much rather join us in avoiding reality. That's the end of Robert's thing. Let's move on to Clint.
All right. So, the train's rolling along the tracks. Maybe you're all situated in seats with views out towards the deserty landscape. And probably, for any of y'all who notice, if you're paying attention.
Never.
Then endless dunes of sand roll out from either sides of the tracks. Looking out from a cabin window or what have you, you might eventually spot an unspectacular speck of rust brown on the path ahead that begins to grow into its squarish edges and fortress-sized height. It's not till the conductor calls out,
"Attention all PP, as premium plan passengers. We'll stop momentarily for some directions. No, we'll stop to give the engine its lunch break."
The uninitiated passengers on the train exchange some confused looks at first and then shrug. It's not till the train begins its deceleration that you notice the approaching structure was actually approaching, albeit so slowly it seemed to stand still. The vehicle does tower above the height of the train, and all you can see now is what looks like a stream of short marsupials that you recognize as tatterdemalions levitating towards the train in their swirling metal, hauling cargo from their still opening and very cluttered cargo bay. In what might be the perfect juxtaposition, a line of luxury suit-wearing butlers and interns and even some employers has formed, extending from the VIP carts of the train to do business, presumably. For this is a trade caravan. The cargo? Officially, it looks like rugs, and carpets, and tarps. But who knows, really? The train has stopped for trade.
Yeah. Does anybody want to partake in the trade?
Yeah. Wick would at least like to see what they have.
All right. So,
They have chocolate.
This is enough chocolate.
Have you got 99 cents in your
Chocolate on the
pocket,
tray.
Aaron?
No.
Yeah,
You know
he's
what?
broke as shit.
Clint shows up, probably knocks on your door, Wick, and just says, "Hey there, bud. Wick, you in there?"
Wick kind of clambers from his bed, fumbles
Wick!
with the handle a bit, and opens up. Clint? What are you doing here?
I don't know if you've noticed, but we've stopped, and there's some trade people outside. I don't know. Something's going on. Here's some money, and you know what? You don't have to pay this back. It's not much. It's enough for, I don't know, maybe some clothes without puke on them. and yeah, Clint just hands Aaron like some probably really high amount of credits. But
Damn,
it's
he really broke the fourth wall there.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what did I say?
You said you handed Aaron,
Oh,
like Clint
good.
hands Aaron.
Well, it wouldn't be the first, second, third, nor fourth time, would it? Okay. So anyway, Clint will hand Wick the boop, whatever money transfer thing they do, and
It's a Pringle.
Yeah,
We agreed. It's a Pringle.
some number of Pringles. I know, but isn't it like a digital interface?
Yeah, it's a single Pringle.
Single
Okay.
and ready to Pringle.
Cool. And then Clint looks a little bit awkward, probably. Because he like is not used to just being the reason for his own net loss. You might even see him like just a little trickle of sweat roll down like the side of his face, and he swivels away and just kind of walks off stiffly.
I was going to say it rolls down his forehead and then into the side of his eye and vanishes.
Sure, that happens. He sucks up, his eye sucks up his own sweat. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But now you have funds, and
bits of money.
Clint would then probably go over to go grab Lad.
You approach this cargo vehicle
Yeah.
and you see this large counter, and behind it are all kinds of like carpets and just like random knickknacks, and just there's some clothes. There's just, they look like they're like not hand-me-downs, but they're just like used goods that they've just found around and repurposed for you to purchase. Like they've cleaned it up real nice, like one of those fucking carpet cleaning TikTok videos.
Okay.
And yeah.
So I would like to buy some new clothes for Wick.
All right.
Clint
Nothing-
strolls up with Simon in tow, by the way. He's just dragged Simon along.
Robert
You're
or
doing it on
Simon?
purpose now.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm doing it on purpose. Cool.
Is there some kind of robot repair kit as well that I could buy?
What, you need a repair beam?
Not specifically repair, but to kind of, you know, make it switch between personalities so that we could talk to Beamer, like something to kind of induce that.
We've done that already.
Yeah, there are
again.
like some simple mechanical tools. Why not?
Okay, I'll take those and the clothes then, and I guess. Do I have much left over?
No, you have to approach the vendor. You have to talk to him.
Oh, okay.
It's not as easy as just purchasing something.
Okay. I say, vendor, hear me.
I hear you.
I need some new clothes because I've had a bit of a tough time wearing these ones.
I see that. You are revolting.
John Revolta, some might say.
Oh no. Wait, can we have that be the first thing New Crab Lad says? 'Cause you're like in Clint's arm or whatever.
Hiding somewhere in the pockets of the suit,
I guess because-
carrying the crab around.
I guess because the lore is already out there that the crabs have a different name other than their their designation. Just name my crab John Revolta.
Yes, please.
John Revolta.
Not only does it have a dumb pun or a good pun, I guess, as it's
It
as
sounds
it's,
like a freaking drag king name. I love it.
Oh my god, it is, isn't it? It's a drag king name.
It's amazing. I love it.
What do you want, revolting lizard?
My name's Wick, actually.
Revolting wick.
I don't know why that one hit me so hard.
That's-
Ow. My ribs.
Revolting Wick is actually kind of cool.
Ouch.
Do you write it down in your journal?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Revolting Wick. Let me jot that down.
It's his Mad Max thing.
Oh man. And they have clothes here that look like Sand Raider, like Mad Max might
Oh,
wear.
for sure.
For sure.
No way. No way.
They've got to.
I mean, the tatterdemalions themselves are nude, but
Nude to what?
as nude as it gets, my friend.
So, I don't know. Can you describe some of the clothes that they have? Is there a specific thing that might catch my eye?
What about a roll? This could be a roll, right?
A roll?
Yeah, roll. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see now. I got a 4. I don't have an economy skill, as far as I'm aware.
No. I'm going to a random outfit
It's gonna be a
generator.
really dumb looking Mad Max rip-off cosplay.
I do have a +2 to resources, so I guess that's kind of the economy role that I could have. Oh, what about that Kingdom Hearts 2 Riku outfit that you showed me a little while ago? Could that be there?
No, it's like a pair of green like cargo shorts, some flip flops, a big blue bag, and a very like straight laced red jacket.
I'm not. So, like, coincidentally, the gambling outfit that you asked for, Wick does have green cargo trousers. So that's funny. That's a funny coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So did you get those?
Yeah, he'll buy what you just said. And I guess Wick will say to the vendor, "Do you have something for robots?"
Could you be specific?
So my robot has 2 personalities, sort of, kind of, and one of them is very shy and doesn't really come out to play much. So I'd like to kind of like something to make him a bit more sociable.
Something to coerce a robot.
Yeah.
Oh, sketch, if I may. For sure, this tatterdemalion glances at some of the other tatterdemalions at that, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it's maybe a bit sus. So Robert and Clint and Crablet are there. Would Meredith be there? I haven't heard.
I don't think Crablat is there, by the way.
I mean, I figured Clint took me.
I said that I went and grabbed Crablet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then that I had it in.
Yeah, I feel like Robert would be there, but he would be like, I don't need rugs, Clint. Whereas I feel like Meredith would probably be interested just to see, okay, how are other people handling the shop?
Robert, roll a notice for me.
A notice, okay. That's 7.
While you're rolling that notice, Clint just, because you just spoke to Clint, Robert just spoke to Clint, so Clint will just kind of like, we're being supportive. We're being supportive. Vic needs us right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Gotta get him out of this bad habit. We gotta get him to kick this bad habit. He's being inefficient. I gave him money.
What's your notice? Simon?
Sorry, what?
What's your notice? You rolled
7.
Yeah?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
7. All right, that's a great success. You sense something similar to Charles deepen your roots and you sense it inside of this cargo cart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and it's sort of like screaming at you.
Oh, okay. Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's concerning.
I like this place, Clint says. Nothing like some good desert commerce. Look at that line. God. And we probably see like the line of many interested interns, butlers, and some employers are all like very eagerly. Oh, good business.
Yeah, they're
you know.
they're all heading into the cargo cart.
Yeah. Marching on in.
Yeah, one at a time. Like they're
Briefcases.
sort of like being let in, and then they're going out, and then being let in and going out.
And some of the ones that are being let out have accompanying tatterdemalions towing seemingly big hauls of some you'd assume like rugs. So there's like a rug on the top peeking out, crates.
Yeah.
Back to the train with those employers.
So Robert, this just kind of browse, but he's trying to focus on that sensation, and trying to see if it gets stronger anywhere. Like, what would he see if he tries to explore the cart that way?
You can investigate.
I rolled a 7.
Damn, dude.
Another great
Nice
success.
rolls.
And so Robert sort of like sneaks past the line of employers. They don't really think much of him at all. He's quite a bit shorter than them. They're very attentive on this door and being let in. And he manages to, like, sort of from a distance behind one of the employers, sort of like creaks out, and he looks inside. And what he sees inside are just like stacks and stacks of wooden boxes just on top of each other, like a fucking Tetris puzzle piece. There's so many of them. They're like, it's completely condensed with boxes.
Okay. Is there anyone else around at the moment?
A bunch of employers and interns and
But he can feel that sensation that he felt even more strongly now.
yeah.
Okay.
You also sense it sort of like whooshing past you when people bring boxes out.
Oh, okay, so it seems to be like multiple sources, not just one.
Oh yeah, many.
Oh. Robert waddles back and tries to take Clint to a more quiet corner of the cart.
What is the point?
Clint, would you just come here for a moment? I saw really exciting rugs, and I want to discuss with you the
What?
fine
Yeah.
tapestry in detail. But because I
Sure.
don't want-
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Wick, I wouldn't go with that one. I think I saw a flea. Okay. What is?
Clint? Are you sure that this place only sells carpets and rugs? Because I'm feeling a very Eden presence emanating from all these boxes. Is there smuggling happening, maybe?
Now that you say that, that would make some sense. Yep, that would actually check out. Yeah, I don't see how this place could make any kind of profit with just selling all that crap. Yeah, why? What's up?
So, one of the many sources that people get life force from are young Edenites that have yet to join with a chassis.
Oh no.
Okay. Whatever do you mean, Robert? And I think Clint's gonna need to roll for deceive.
Yeah, do it.
So
You roll a notice,
Me?
Simon. Yeah.
Okay. A 7 again.
I got a 9.
Oh.
Dang.
Yeah,
Good
6 plus
rolls
3.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope I don't have to roll anymore. Leave it at that.
It's the one and done.
So yeah, I'm racking my head. That sounds really like a big accusation, Robert. Do you have any evidence? I mean, you said something about like you could sense this.
Yeah.
Are you getting enough sunlight in that train?
I am, and
Maybe some more time in the green cart.
I am, and I have been. I've run into Charles. You remember Charles, the orange? Yeah.
Charles.
The guy that was in me.
The orange. Is that the guy we put in the little kid costume? That one?
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
The orange. Yeah. I've been able to sense him, and I've worked on that. I feel like I can sense the life force of other Edenites much more strongly since I had that realization, and I'm pretty sure there's Edenites in that crate, or at least other plants.
Well, I'll be darned. I'm gonna have to go ahead and trust you. What do you want to do about this? Is this a thing that is bad? Just getting a read on it. Would that be a bad thing if that were the case? In the case? If they were in the cases?
I feel if they wanted to travel, they would be on the train, not in crates. It might be a very budget train transportation option, but I kind of doubt that, Clint. So I'm sensing a lot of screaming too. So that's also not giving me the best signs.
Screaming.
Yeah, I'm sensing screaming.
I don't hear anything.
Well, because you're not an Edenite. Or maybe you're not tuned into Edenite life force the same way that I am. So, yeah, I don't think this is a good thing, Clint.
Okay, and you see probably for one of the first times, Clint is like furrowing his brows and looking down. It's got two fingers on his temple, and it looks like he's really having some kind of dilemma. You couldn't tell what kind. But I don't know, maybe you could try to tell what kind or ask him, but he's thinking about something.
Clint, what's happening in your brain?
If you think that we should intervene, then now would be the only time, because the train is currently stopped and we're here at the place. But what could, I mean, this seems like the entire operation here, if what you're saying is true. Maybe we should fill in the others.
That would be good. At least we have more strength in numbers, but yeah.
All right, so cut to Wick and Beam.
Oh, have I bought the thing now? I was gonna have Wick phone Meredith for advice, or just call her over, I guess.
The Beam is just sort of like wandered over after you. He heard Clint, he got very excited, and he wandered over there.
Okay, cool.
This whole time on the train, he's just kind of been looking for Clint. Can't find him for some reason. And as you're standing there, this guy, this tatterdemalion behind the counter, he's holding his hands up, and you don't see any clothes, but he's telling you, these are the latest in Den Doctrine Couture. Really popping off, as you kids would say, in Crabadice City.
Oh.
With this, you will make all your money back. These are lucky clothes.
Oh.
Just holding his hands up. And I'm going to roll a deception, and I want Wick to roll a notice.
Yo, lucky clothes? Aaron, you're going to have Wick get those, dude.
What is my notice? +1.
You guys proud of me? I got their names right for once. Yeah.
Damn it! I don't want to deal with this stupidity. 5. I got a 5 plus 1, so I have a 6. What have you got, Sketch? It's got to be a stupid number like 9 or something, isn't it?
It's a 7.
A 7.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, so he's just like, this is the latest and greatest. You're gonna win so much money. That's my guarantee.
I didn't want clothes for a robot.
They're not for the robot.
Huh?
I'm holding them up in front of you.
What? I don't understand.
Only those who are the most true to their own cause and their hearts and their beliefs can see how beautiful these clothing are. And I'm willing to sell them to you dirt cheap.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But for how much?
How much do you have?
I want to try and deceive this guy back.
Okay, yeah.
5. I have a plus 1 to deceive.
I know you just said 5, but I thought that Wick was like, I have 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got an 8.
Damn it.
You do not deceive him.
So I tell him I have 10 chips.
Like, I have this many.
He definitely gave you more.
He what?
Clint definitely gave you more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said I give him a Pringle, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what's a Pringle then? Is that like
I mean, he basically just filled a little temporary bank card for you with money, and given how little Clint knows, it's probably way too much.
Yeah, it is way too much.
It's one banana. How much could it cost? It's very that energy.
I'm willing to say that if we want to just establish how much it is, remember how there's a can of Pringles, and then above a can of Pringles, there's what was it? A shipping cart of Pringle cans, right? I think Clint would have given him like half a shipping cart of Pringle cans, which could probably have freed Wick from his debt.
Yeah, I was thinking I'd make a significant dent at least.
So he looks at your chip, and he goes, 10. All right. 10 it is.
I don't trust that smile.
And he just scans your thing, takes all your money. and then he hands you these beautiful clothes.
They're beautiful. Can we get a really intense description of them now?
That you think will make you very, very lucky.
Is it like tights? Is it like green shiny tights?
No, it's nothing.
That Wick is the one getting Emperor's clothed. I can't imagine this working with anyone else in this group. The way it would for Wick.
Oh wait, it's literally nothing. He told him it's actually invisible. So Wick is trying to feel.
That's why I was trying to scam back. Damn it.
Yeah.
So wait, what about
Wick is convinced these are clothes, and he's convinced they will make him lucky.
what about the clothes that you suggested earlier that you generated?
Yeah, you bought those too.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, you have those too. They're really ugly.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as they're ugly and not invisible, I'm happy.
Yeah, but they don't make you lucky.
That's fine.
And Wick thinks that it'll make him lucky. Come on, Aaron, you got to do it.
Okay, what about these robot repair kit stuff?
Oh, no, you're broke.
You have no money left.
Oh, damn, that's right, I'm broke. Damn it.
Oh, no.
Stupid, invisible, whatever.
That's fantastic.
Wick thinks these are great clothes. He just can't see them yet.
Because he's not dedicated enough, so he can't see it.
Yeah.
if he tries hard enough, then he'll see how beautiful the clothes are.
Yeah. I wonder how hard he's gonna try.
Maybe he like goes and tries to put them on under his other clothes or something.
That's my plan.
So the Beam turns over to Wick, and he looks him up and down, and he sees that Wick is like holding his hands like this, and Beam is like, "Wow, that is great."
It's the best.
Yeah. I can't wait to try these on and surprise everyone. That's gonna be a real thing. That's gonna be a real surprise.
Very surprising.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a real thing.
It's gonna be a real thing.
Yeah, quick prick of Wick.
They'll see every part.
Oh my god.
Okay. So at that moment, Beam notices Clint. And he looks directly at Clint and he goes, "Clint, my best friend."
Beam, where have you been? I've been looking for you.
"I have been babysitting."
Oh, man. What baby? Babies are just the worst. If we could just not have babies anymore, that'd be great.
"We can get rid of Wick."
And
"We can't.
oh, we can't. Oh.
Can't get rid of Wick."
Well, I think that Wick probably appreciates all that you've been doing for him. Isn't that right? And Clint just locks eyes with the lizard. What are you doing with your hands?
I'm taking a look at this new piece of clothing that they just sold me. Doesn't it look amazing?
Yeah, let me catch you another thing. You spent all your money on that, right? That's what you did. You spent all.
I paid 10 chips for it. They were more than happy to sell it to me for that.
Yeah, do me a favor and don't ever wear that.
You're just jealous. I knew it.
I want to invoke his aspect, which, what was it again? Something about authority.
Yeah.
Oh, rebels against authority kind of thing.
Yeah. And I want to say, unless you want to spend a fate point, Wick just starts getting dressed. He like takes off his shirt and starts putting on the new one just to show him how cool it is.
I just rip it off and just, I don't know, drop it over my head and arms, and I'm like, oh yeah. True, wherever this came from, fashion.
Big doctoring.
Yes, big doctoring.
Big doctoring.
Yeah.
Well,
now, who is the best
if
dressed?
anyone is going to buy snake oil, might as well be the most like one.
That's kind of... Would you stop with these weird, lizardy, racist things you're saying? Snake oil... my uncle, my great uncle was murdered for his oil. Whatever. Like, chill out, dude.
Beam bows his head and goes,
My great uncle Flint and Still died horribly at the hands of a vertex hunter. So
Flint Kern.
Flint Kern. No, I said Flint and Still.
I know. I said Flint Kern.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, Clint probably has no concept of what racism even is, so he probably just doesn't even bat an eye at that. But he does look away from the naked lizard and back at the tatterdemalion, and Clint just says, "Well, that didn't seem like it was very difficult for you."
What wasn't difficult?
Right. Now, do you have any actual clothes that are like rotting or something that you're just gonna throw away that you can give this guy?
for you, of course.
Yeah, by the way, Clint kind of, while he's talking to this tatterdemalion, is as covertly as possible, because assumingly Robert's kind of like right behind him. He's gonna pat Robert's chasis somewhere out of view of the tatterdemalion to try to like, come on, go, investigate or whatever. And then continue his conversation. Do you need me to do a roll for that?
Yeah, sure. Roll stealth, deception, whichever.
I guess
one's the best.
deception would probably be the best if I could.
I'm gonna need a great success.
Well, I got a 4 + 3. I don't think 7 is a great success.
It is.
Oh.
It's a great success.
Okay,
Good stuff.
cool. Take it.
Yeah, a 6 to a 9 is a great success.
Nice. All right. So then he'll just continue his conversation. What did the tatterdemalion say again?
He said, "For you, anything."
Okay, how about some not so rotting clothes? They don't have to be anything special, but maybe something that complements a green skin tone.
Sort of like hums, and he starts looking through stuff, and he throws out some yellow pants with some like a bunch of zippers on them.
Meanwhile, Simon, are you doing anything? This is
Robert will head over to Meredith, but obviously that can't happen just yet. But yeah, I want Robert to try and be like, hey, like, you know, Clint just said we can get the people together, but yeah. I feel like Robert sees what's happening with Wick, and he's, well, okay. And he also still remembers the chocolate incident. So he just heads over to Meredith.
I like how it's now the chocolate incident.
Hey, Wick's not doing too well this train trip.
No, he's not.
We haven't even gotten to his part.
Oh, God, we haven't? I thought the race was his thing.
No, that was to try and help Robert's seed growth.
Somehow.
Did not help.
It didn't help, no. But it might have. If Wick won, maybe it would have inspired him to help.
All right, Robert, upon being like pat on the back by Clint to do something while he's keeping the one tatterdemalion vendor busy, Robert saw that there's other people still like in the crates. He doesn't have a game plan, and he knows at least that he himself isn't really able to do much just by himself. So he sees Meredith in the vendor cart, and he approaches her. So what's she up to?
Looking at stuff.
Yeah.
Browsing. Aimlessly browsing, not looking for anything in particular.
And he does get close and pulls her in for a whisper. Meredith, so
How does a robot whisper?
he just turns down the volume. Like it's a little knob on the side of his head, and he just turns down the volume.
That's perfect.
I don't know. He approaches Meredith and says, "Hey, so I think this place is smuggling Edenites, and I kind of want to do something about that."
How would you smuggle an Edenite? Why would you smuggle an Edenite?
Okay, so Clint said something to the effect of no, actually that was like just information Clint knows, but
you
didn't
got
share.
no clue. You got no clue why
Okay.
they would do this.
You can hazard a guess, though. I feel like that's fair.
You could, yeah.
Because I think you understand how some of the life force things work, right? In the world, maybe. Does that make sense? Or a roll? I don't know.
I guess so. Yeah, sure. I'll roll for.
Okay, sketch.
Yeah.
I'll roll for lore. It's a 6 total.
A 6 total. It is a great success. So you have heard tales when you were young of just like the Edenite sprouts just getting picked up and then they're just gone.
Picked up by who?
You don't know? They're gone. There were also rumors that the tatterdemalions shouldn't be trusted. Around after the war sometime, the tatterdemalions, having left the factory destroyed now, settled close to the Edenite wall. Since they joined forces with the Edenites in the Great War, they sort of like found a new place to be, and that is nearby the Edenites. And they sort of like trade back and forth, and they have a very good relationship in general. But as is often the case, there are those Edenites who don't trust the tatterdemalions, who have claimed that they steal the sprouts in the night.
Wow. Some deep root lore.
So Robert's response to Meredith is, well, this is going to come out of nowhere, but I ran into Charles and I started feeling him, and since then I've worked on connect.
Sorry.
Okay, I'll try to do that again.
Phrasing.
So I ran into Charles and started feeling him up.
Yeah. Somewhere you sense Charles going, "Oh yeah, nail me!" Woohoo!
Okay,
Even better than my
I'll
wife.
try that again. So,
I guess he likes them juicy too.
Sorry.
okay. Well, see, this is coming out of nowhere, but I could sense Charles. He's on the train. He's our conductor again.
Oh, what are the odds?
Yeah, I feel like Circle should really get more conductors. But I could sense his presence before I ran into him, and since then I've been working on trying to refine my connection to other Edenites, and I can swear I can feel Edenite presence in all these crates that are just even right now, just passing by. And he just points at one of the crates again, passing them by. Yeah, we should try to do something about this. They're like screaming, Meredith.
You hear them screaming?
Yeah,
Like in your head, or
no, I
Like
can
what?
feel it. I can feel it. I can sense it in my roots. It's not my robot chassis. It's a connection
Okay.
between us plants. I think it's life force.
I totally believe you. It's just a little disturbing, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It is.
No. I just, why? Do you know why would anyone want to be trafficking Edenites around?
Well,
Is it like a life force thing?
probably that's. I mean, I had my own theory of someone really just wanting some plant friends, but that's probably the more likely option.
Robert, that is very optimistic.
Robert, roll me another notice if you would.
Okay. It's a 6.
God
All
damn!
So as you're becoming more acutely aware of all of these Edenite life forces around you, you sense a flicker of the same feeling coming from where you're keeping your life force vials.
Okay.
Juicy.
And at that, Robert's facial expression just changes to pure shock, and he just pulls Meredith in even closer.
He's just like all the way smashed up against her face.
You okay, Robert?
No, actually, I really am feeling it even just now in the life force vials that Clint gave me. Like, it feels like the same energy. Maybe I'm just going crazy, but
Well,
I think they are, like, the life force is taken from Night Sprouts.
I mean, you can take life force from anything.
Yeah, but
So
there is a difference. I've been able to sense other Edenites. I've not been able to sense Clint or even you in the same way. So I think there's a slight difference of how you're attuned to different sources of life force.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, we tend to look the other way about life force, but we all know that the vials of life force, they have to come from somewhere. And they
Yeah.
have to come from someone.
Can Clint stroll up on them mid conversation? No. What's the deal? I thought I was buying you time to go stealth operation on that bitch. Come on, Robert.
Well, Robert was in the middle of telling me what that bitch was. So
Yeah, I'm still just a little bit unclear here too. So
The thing is, Clint, I'm not a one-man rescue operation. Like, even you suggested we should get the team together if we want to do this. So that's what I've been trying to do. Don't worry about Wick. He's all chucked up.
Wick is
Poor kid.
real chucked.
I thought this would be a nice little family outing to help the poor guy out, but now he's just utterly useless. And then kind of like turn around and Wick's standing right there, mostly nude. Yeah. Useless at being a bummer.
Good save.
So Wick is he's going to speak to the vendor and try to get an opinion on how he looks.
Okay, whatever, Wick.
Vendor, gaze upon my splendor.
Wow, sir, you look marvelous. No longer revolting. Now, the beautiful, magnificent, radiant Wick.
Wick kind of gets closer. I'm assuming the vendor is kind of like at a desk of some kind, right? Like,
Yeah. He's standing behind a counter. Or flying behind a counter.
He leans on and he's like, I want to go with you. I want to go with you, dude. Like, this train it's hell. Take me with you.
We're not looking for people right now.
You don't need to look. I'm right here.
just love the, can I get a job application? No, sorry, we're not hiring right now.
Yeah, we are fully staffed. I could talk to my supervisor, but he is not here today. So if you come back next week, we could maybe arrange something for you.
But I won't be here next week.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Neither will the tatterdemale.
Maybe another time.
I see how it is. This is a lizard thing, isn't it? First it was snake oil from that guy, he points to Clint. And now it's 1 week for lizards.
And you just sort of like takes a deep breath. And suddenly all of the metal surrounding him grabs you and chucks you into the train and sort of like just covers the door.
Damn.
Yeah.
You could see Wick kind of bumping on the window like, hey, I wasn't done with you.
Okay, so the three of the rest of us, I guess technically the 4 of the rest of us are still down. I just remembered that Clint has been like holding on to Crabland this whole time. Are you still like emitting a beeping noise?
Yep, all the time.
Man. You know what would really help right now? Just kind of like knocks on the ball, the sphere. If we have this guy to help us out, he's always the one that kind of can do anything.
Yeah, well, that's not happening. I mean,
I could try something.
I know we have. What would you try?
Get a giant sledgehammer.
All I could try to do, yeah, just get a sledgehammer and cracks open the walnut. No, I mean, look, I could try something, but the most that it would do is just get us information. Maybe.
And I don't think information is really as helpful here in this moment. We would.
It's that, or unless you have a better idea.
We would need a distraction to. Like, I know we're on a job already, but I really feel like I have to help these Edenites. They're my kind, but how are we gonna do this? But what if we somehow distract the Tatterdemalions and get them off the train and somehow transfer all the Edenite crates on the train and then free them in Crabadice City or something like that?
Now hold on a minute. Because all of these Edenites, or the crates that we presume to have Edenites in them, are being purchased. Correct? Are they being...
Yes, they're being purchased.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it looks like it. There's a guy over there just purchasing one. It looks over at some employer.
And it is all employers, right?
Hashtag not all employers.
Yeah, it's employers and just like people on the train, but it's mostly employers and interns.
It's anyone that looks like they're loaded, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the VIP, the VIP people who probably you haven't seen because they've just been lounging in their luxury.
Yeah.
But look, yeah, if it's the employers themselves who are complicit and actively participating in the kidnapping of these Edenites, why are we talking to Clint about this?
And Robert just looks at Clint with a blank expression.
I'm assuming you at least know about this.
Okay, so I think then with that, Clint will say, you know what? Come with me. And then Clint just steps in the back of the line.
Like the line of people waiting to get to the vendor, or?
Yeah.
Okay. And Robert just shrugs and looks at Meredith.
And try to look like money.
Okay. Robert fixes up his posture just a little more straight. and yeah, he shrugs at Meredith and what else are we gonna do?
Look, I'm just saying, like, I don't trust them, and by extension, I don't trust him because he's one of them.
He's been good to us.
Has he?
They were all standing half a foot from each other. Anyway, wouldn't it be cool if Robert just made like a little bow tie appear below his face?
On this little like display screen.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
display.
That's awesome.
And like a monocle.
He's got a little fancy face. Does he put a little mustache?
Oh my god.
The intern in front of you is sort of like, he's been in line for a while now. So he's just kind of like looking around. And he spots Clint and he goes, "Oh, it's Ern, isn't it?"
Oh my God. What was you? Oh, yeah. I mean, was it Billy, Bobby,
Trent.
Trent? I was so close. Trent. I haven't seen you around lately.
How's business?
Oh, business is business. Yeah. How's business?
Yeah, bro. I've been in the casino cart, just spending my endless wealth.
Oh,
It's fun to pretend to have a risk. I like it.
yeah. I get that one. Hey, have you seen that pool?
Have I seen it?
Oh,
I'm living in that thing, brother.
living in the pool. Oh, I can't wait to tell the guys. Trent living in the pool.
Yeah. So this little guy with you, is that you already got one of them?
And Robert just looks at Meredith with
Meredith
I
is
told
just
you.
like, just.
Little guy? I don't know. Oh, what's that doing behind me?
You know they're not pets, right?
I don't know what that's doing in line either. Guess I have to roll a deception check. God. You know what? Before I roll that deception check, can I just say, the whole casino look. It's
Yeah.
a little bit of an ugly look, though, isn't it? You sure you want to be seen as desperate?
God damn.
Does that qualify, Sketch? I feel like, I don't know. I'd like to use my ability.
It's not really a compliment. It's just an insult.
You're doing a great job at looking desperate by playing into that casino. There you go. That's a compliment.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna spend one life force.
Yeah. Thanks, brother. I've been trying to live that commoner life just to see how it fits.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a roll to do.
Meredith has definitely got a hand on one of her knives. Very subtly, just gripping the handle of a knife. Ooh.
I'd like to give this for free to party members here who are paying any amount of attention to this conversation. Okay, so you guys can't see, but Kevin is shaking his head. No, it might not sound like he's in the call with us, but he's always here.
Yep, I'm here.
Kind of. We got to get to Crabadice City already.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess then just like Meredith and Robert, Meredith, she's looking down, maybe like looking down in some hatred or whatever, notices that as Clint says that thing about the you're doing a really good job of looking desperate by playing in that casino.
Yeah.
Meredith, and then also Robert, maybe, because you're a little bit lower to the ground and right there, would notice Clint's shadow kind of tiptoe over to where this other intern's shadow is, and kind of like put its hand on its shoulder, go but silently, right? Like a arcing its back kind of laugh, and then just judo chop its neck, and the shadow like fizzles away, and Clint steps into this intern's shadow. So this whole time Clint is still in conversation. I'll do that roll now. What would you say it's a deception?
This is getting interesting.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting fun.
I actually nailed another 6 + 3, so
I'm gonna say that just works. He's already quite charmed by you. Like he seems to think you're above him.
of course. Yep. So
Yeah. So I'm just like I'm thinking. I'm here
yeah.
on employer business.
Oh.
I'm sure you are too. Obviously, it wouldn't just be here.
I can't tell you.
Yeah, obviously, someone of you're about to be like a proper employer. I just started out with I got.
Trent, my time is valuable. Can you?
All right. So I'm kind of here as like an ambassador of Morbs.
Worms?
I heard you've done this a couple times before.
Yeah, back in the day.
So I'm just wondering, how do I get like a good deal to get all of these cargo to Morbs? Because I kind of need to impress the big guy upstairs.
God?
Some things you just have to learn for yourself there, bud.
All right.
But you know what? I'll give you one juicy little nugget of wisdom. Gotta work on the smile just a little bit.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, flash me those pearly whites.
All right.
He just smiles as wide as you have ever seen anyone smile in your life.
Oh, no.
Not terrifying at all.
That is perfect. Now 180 that and head on in there, bud.
All right. I think it's my turn anyway. So finally, I've been here for hours. I don't know why they keep pushing me back. I feel like I'm pretty important, but I guess not. Anyways, it's my turn. So I'm just gonna head right in and flash them the pearly whites.
Go knock him dead. And Clint pats him on the back. And as he pats him on the back, Clint's shadow also kind of does a similar kind of movement. As it is still affixed to Trent's.
Okay. So as he moves in, Clint, you are able to see what he sees, or like what he is experiencing from a third person perspective. And he's talking to the tatterdemalion that's in there. And he's trying to buy all of these boxes for Morbs. And he has the money to do so. So the tatterdemalions don't they're not stopping him in any way whatsoever. They know that this is a terrible idea of him to just spend all this fucking money just for some measly life force. It's a terrible idea. But lots of money for them. They don't mind. So as he tries to make this deal, you hear where he's going to be storing them for the foreseeable future until it's time to extract them. It's going to take a while to get the extraction process going, a few months, because there's so many of them. So he's just going to box them in a store nearby where Meredith has her store.
Okay. Can I get a name for that store?
What if it's like a rival place to Meredith? You should come up.
Well-
What's your shop's name anyway? Sorry.
Oh gosh, two names, two people put on the spot for names at the same time. You know what? I like it.
I'm sorry.
I've got an idea for a name for the rival place, if that helps you with the name for your place. Okay, just the Grungy Gunkers. Grungy Gunkers Robo Repair. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't sound like the front for anything.
Yeah, Grungy Gunker's cargo and robot repair.
Grungy Gunker's official, authentic, legitimate business of robot repairs.
So that's where you find out that it's going.
Okay. So I find that out. I'd imagine that that's kind of all I need. So I know that these purchases will be stored there when Trent gets back to Lucent City then, right? And
Yes.
I'll snap out of it. Probably Meredith and probably even also Crabadice. And Robert, you guys would have noticed Clint was just like idling. If that makes sense. He was just kind of like idling, like standing pretty still, pretty stiff, just kind of adjusting like the tie.
Just just casually astral projecting.
brushing his hair back. It's like the most NPC like behavior was just happening. At one point, he just like randomly smiled at no one in particular.
Does he start putting popcorn in a hair straightener?
he would probably be able to know that they're popcorn. Anyway, turns around and puts both of his hands on Robert's kind of shoulder joints and says, "This goes against some of my own interests, and I don't like doing it. But for a friend, this is where all of what that Trent guy is purchasing will be stored." And Clint just whispers it in Robert's sensory device or whatever, ear, I don't know.
Into his porthole.
Yep, right into the porthole.
Porthole 2 is one of my favorite games.
It's a good game.
Robert just takes a moment to look at Clint, and his expression just shows eyes kind of like watering up, and he just says, "Thank you." And then he looks at Meredith. "I told you, he's with us. He's on our side."
Of course you appreciate such a gesture. Look, just can you 2, 3, 2 mum's the word, right? On my little shadow thing. We don't have to go talking about that. Kind of always been doing it. I've always been watching you guys. Don't worry about it. But yeah, now you know. So it's not as creepy.
Meredith is just completely railing right now because not only, like, after all of this, it's okay. Not only has she had the information dumped on her out of nowhere that, hey, there's the trafficking of sentient beings happening literally right in front of us. And then Clint doing whatever the fuck he was doing. And then just all of a sudden being like, it's totally cool, guys. She's just, what is happening?
Standing there, like, eye twitching.
What is what is happening? Because obviously Meredith doesn't know any of what Clint just saw, so she's just, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, fair. You can all roll a notice.
And I guess technically I can too.
For me, that's a 6.
This is the best die ever. I just rolled like only 6s.
I rolled a 6.
For Meredith, it's a 7.
Woohoo!
An 8.
I'm very noticey.
And for Robert is a...
What did you say, a 6?
6, yeah.
All right, so everybody notices just Beam intently looking at Clint this whole time.
Oh. What is it, Beam?
Nothing. Just found my best friend.
And I'm glad for it. Clint reaches down and like tussles the hair that Beam would have if Beam could have hair.
Metal scraping noise.
Yeah, Beam sort of scrunches down as if he did have hair.
All right, kiddo. All right, guys. I think we should probably get back in the... And then I would assume that we hear like a... Whoop, whoop, and maybe the guy going like... Oh.
Yeah.
All right, everybody back to the carts. We got a long train trip to go, so let's get going.
And as they're walking back to the train, Meredith just kind of leans over to Robert and goes, "Dude, why is Wick naked?"
Yeah, Wick is like behind this metal.
Just like as all of this crazy stuff is happening, and then just wears Wick's clothes.
Yeah, so you guys cross this bridge from this cargo cart thing. And as the bridge retracts, so does the metal that was covering the door keeping Wick inside. And as it's removed, you just see Wick bare naked, just banging on nothing.
I want to get off this train.
And
He's
Robert
had way
just
too much chocolate.
yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh God, it's the chocolate.
Look, I tried. I think we need to have an intervention.
All right.
Well, we still have a few days left on the trip, so intervention time it is.
I'm gonna go hang out with Beam and Crabland. You guys can do that. That sounds so lame.
Yes, let us hang out.
And then Clint's gonna take Crablad to the library and use him as a footstool, but rest.
Perfect.
All right. Good train adventure, everybody. Good job.
Yay!
Yay!
And everyone
doing
came
that
out
again.
of it for the better.
We should just call Agatha like Train Gatha. Because there's so many train adventures.
Yeah, we should do that. I agree. All right, let's make it to Crabadice City already.
Oh my lord.
Do it.
So you arrive at the station below Crabadice City, having just driven through multiple tunnels into the mountains before burrowing beneath the earth. The station itself doesn't look like anything special. It's a bit dirtier than the one in Lucent City. But then again, it is 2 a.m. The station is fairly empty. There are a few people waiting on different lines, dressed in clothing suited to warm weather. There's a large avian in a button-down shirt covered in illustrations of various seashells, an Agathan woman in a casual two-piece suit asleep with her head on her briefcase. But what's maybe the most noticeable are 4 crab lads seemingly working together to maintain a chest-like structure made from crystalline valsite. They're also carrying little backpacks made from the same material that's sort of tethered to the large floating chest like it's a balloon being held by 4 little adorable crabs. The backpacks function as speakers, and they all speak in unison as you exit a train. And they go,
Greetings, 482. Please deliver 69 to us so we may keep it safe until the ceremony. Waiting for a response from 482.
All right, so the sphere kind of opens back up and turns into a crab mech shape, but it's got the tank on the back containing the corpse. And then, I don't know, how are we going to play this? Do I hand the tank over, or do they escort me where it goes?
they want you to hand it over.
Okay, so I guess I'll just do that then.
Alright. Were you gonna say anything, or are you gonna keep that for later?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that for next time.
Alright. So they receive the carcass, and your chest sort of like melds into their chest, and the carcass is dropped inside of there. The parts of your mech that integrated with their chest sort of goes back to your mech, and they go,
Excellent. Enjoy your stay.
and they point their claws towards the station's exit. What do y'all do?
Robert seems confused at the situation. I thought there would be a funeral? They
sort of like turn towards Robert, all four in unison.
The funeral will come later. For now,
okay.
enjoy your stay. The funeral will happen in 3 days. We need to make preparations. Thank you.
And they point towards the exit.
And Robert just kind of talks to Clint and is like, I'm relieved. Like, I had a whole funeral outfit. It would have been too bad if I had gotten that for nothing.
Well, Robert, the funerals that I've gone to have been more for the living. So it sounds like this whole gang could probably use a little bit of closure.
That makes sense.
All right, Wick, you're standing there nude.
Oh, is he nude? Oh, man. Well, not to him. He's not. Well, he is.
He doesn't
but...
think he's nude. He
Yeah.
thinks he's lucky, and he's in Crabadice City.
He thinks he looks splendid.
Yo, if you feeling lucky, what are you feeling like doing, Wick? I don't know.
Well, guys, I guess we find somewhere to stay for the next couple of nights, yeah? And then as soon as that funeral comes along, we get all dressed up fancy. Except me, I'm already as fancy as can be. And then we say goodbye to our little pal.
Yeah, I can't really be seen with him. And Clint is gonna kind of just head off in a direction, probably towards what you might assume would be like a high-end accommodations. I don't think Clint would be like comping the rest of the party while in this city.
No, you all know where you're supposed to be staying. Just Wick doesn't, I guess. You're supposed to be staying at the Conch Casino and Hotel.
Okay, does Clint know? Is that like a pretty good one?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Let's go.
Hey,
Clint would want to be there.
Clint's gonna be there.
All right, cool. Do the rest of you also step outside the station?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I guess.
Okay.
Dude, I thought Wick was gonna go straight to a casino with all this luck.
What?
Huh?
Oh, that's a good point. Well, he doesn't. Does he really have... Can Wick call his dad?
Yeah.
I don't know. Can Wick
Okay.
call his...
He calls that. Give me a ringing noise.
Beep, 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 boop, boop, boop.
Hello.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, what's up, son?
I'm at Crabadice City. I'm wearing my luckiest clothes ever. I think it would be a good idea if you could let me borrow some money for a bit.
In Crabadice City.
Yeah.
Look, we're all about supporting you, and we think it would be great if you got some ambition or a goal of some sort, but I'm not looking to support a gambling habit.
No, I do have ambition. I do. Like I'm into races now. Like I'm training a bit every day. I've been designing courses. Look, when I'm done here, I want to go to college and study like athleticism, I guess.
Right. So
Study athleticism.
Yeah.
we'll gladly help you with your college funds, son. But first of all, it's 2 a.m. at night, and your mother and I just got home from a long meeting, so
Yeah,
I think we're gonna go to sleep, and you should go to sleep, and perhaps we'll talk about this in the morning, but most likely we won't. Good night, son.
Come on.
Good night, son.
Good night, Dad.
I love you.
Meow, meow, meow.
And he hangs up.
I think Robert, having studied maps as part of his train adventure, is like, no, he knows exactly where to go to get to the place where they stay, and so he probably wants to lead the group. All right, so should we head to our hotel? Because I know the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm very excited.
It's 2 a.m. I know we're all tired right now. That's why we should go to the hotel and sleep.
I'm not even tired. I'm not even. I could go. I could go for 5 more hours, to be honest. But whatever. You could.
Whatever, I'm not even tired.
Yeah. So, Wick, you're in kind of a bad mood right now. But the second you step outside, you are immediately met by a sense of awe. Crabadice City, known far and wide for its extravagant casinos, glittering seafood buffets, and lively entertainment venues, attracting people from all over Circle, seeking thrills, good luck, and good fortune. The city itself is constructed from the materials one might expect a city to be built from: steel, glass, some wood, hard plastics, the usual. Where Crabadice might, however, stand out is in how those materials are put together, looking much less like a city and instead more like a coral reef grown from the sand. The city layers itself upwards on plateaus, buildings branching out in tendrils from the surface, lit by neon signs of every color. Crabadice is quite the sight to behold. And excluding Crablad, none of you have ever seen something quite like it.
Wow.
This looks amazing.
This is like a crab version of Overgrowth.
It's a city.
The most boring ass observation.
This is a city.
And like any new city that Robert steps into, like, this is like a blank version of Overgrowth. And it's always whatever is the most, like, the largest fraction of the populace.
Yeah, just whatever's most prevalent.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Beam stares at all the bright lights and he goes, wow! Before he catches himself and he hangs his head in shame and he goes, oh, I'm useless.
Aww. Oh, man. Beam, you're not useless. Come on.
Okay, wait, is Clint still there? Or I kind of said he already headed off.
Yeah, you said he already headed off.
Yeah.
So we're more or less going to end now. But
Okay.
before that, since Crablad came out of emergency mode, the network, not the Crab network, but the general network that he's connected to as well, sent him a bounty that has been just like lying in wait for a week and a half now. And that bounty says, Wick Candell, wanted alive and back in Lucent City for 30,000 chips. The bounty was issued by Wrongham & Co. law offices on behalf of Gertrude Nim and the Nim estate.
The what now?
Gertrude Nim and the Nim estate.
Cool. I was hoping that would be like built upon.
I always hoped I would get sued.
Now he's a real rebel.
How much was the bounty for?
30,000 chips.
Not bad.
Man, Wick could have paid his own bounty if he didn't buy that sick drip.
Oh, down by the beach, I watched you in the pod race. When you smiled, I just wanted to say, will you still be my friend by the time we reach the next stop? 'Cause this track keeps going, and I don't wanna get off. In the summer, train to Crabadice City. In the summer, we're gonna gamble and have fun. There's a pool here and a bunch of sentient crustaceans. Wish I could stay there and get in all kinds of crazy situations in Crabadice. I'm on the train to Crabadice City. In Crabadice. On the train to Crabadice City. 900 years in service of Circle across the land. I got news for you, my friend. It ain't a miracle, it was the hand. The employers have brought this gift from us to you, from us to you, providing you pay every single chip that you're due. In the summer, on the train to Crabadice City, doing business making a buck and making a change. They're all helpless, but I'll show them in the right direction. This is my true test. Without a leader, it's just natural selection. On my way to Crabadice, I'm on the train to Crabadice City. On my way to Crabadice, I'm on the train to Crabadice City. On my way to Crabadice, I'm on the train to Crabadice City. On my way to Crabadice, I'm on my way to Crabadice City.
Alright, so Robert can tell it's probably not the best time to talk strategy, but as everyone returns to their rooms, Robert just kind of takes a piece of paper and just pins it to his wall and writes down, "Save the Edenites at Grungy Gunker's Robo Repair." And he vows to do that when he gets back to Lucent City. At least knowing from Clint that he has time to complete the mission in Crabadice, but afterwards try and help those Edenites sprout